Hi, I'm Gary Buffini from ARC Leadership Dynamics. Today I want to talk about what is arguably the most important tool in your leadership toolkit, and that's your communication style. I know you're a great communicator, you have no problems with communication, but bear with me for a moment. We'll just take a look at a little aspect of this. You know, if you think about communication, it's the tool that's used when we want to get a project done, we want to explain how a project gets done, when it needs to be finished by. It's a good thing. It's also the tool that's used when we motivate direct reports. It's the tool that's used when we want to bring a team together and create unity and alignment within a team. It's also the tool that's used when we have different teams or different departments and we want them to come together and be a little more efficient, be a little more effective. And those are all positive things. But the other side of communication is it's also the tool that's used primarily when direct reports are demotivated. It's also the tool that is primarily used when we are trying to communicate a particular project that needs to be done and how it needs to be done and when it needs to be done by, and what's said and what's heard turn out to be different things. It's also the tool that's primarily used when a team starts to get a little toxic. And it's also the tool that's primarily used when we have different teams and different departments that are button heads, that are not working well together, that there is friction. It's primarily communication that takes us to that place. And so I want to hone in on one aspect of communication here today, and that is focusing on what's said and what's heard. And so I'm going to encourage you two things. Number one is invest in relationships, especially with direct reports, and encourage them to ask clarifying questions during meetings. If you invest in the relationships with them, you'll get better clarifying questions. That will cut down on the amount of times that what's said and what's heard turn out to be different things. And the other thing, which I found particularly important, is have somebody mirror back at the end of a meeting what was heard and what are the agreed upon next steps. If it's a one-on-one meeting, the direct report always needs to do that. If it's a group meeting, let the group know in advance that you're going to be calling on somebody to do that at the end of the meeting. They don't know who it's going to be. So what you get is a greater attention span, greater focus from your direct reports during the course of that meeting, and a real solid reason to ask clarifying questions, because somebody's going to be asked at the end of the meeting to mirror back what was heard and what are the agreed upon next steps. Hopefully that'll be something that you will find as much success with as I have in the past. If you know anybody, by the way, who you think would enjoy the type of leadership coaching that we do at ARC or when working with teams, please feel free to have a conversation with them. And if they express an interest in working with us, I would greatly appreciate an email from you. Send it to gary@arcld.com. And I will do a follow-up with them and we'll treat them with the greatest of respect and look for a way in which we can come alongside them just like we did with you. Remember, if you want to grow your company, you got to grow your team. And if you want to grow your team, grow yourself. Until the next time, bye for now.